Alright, fix it.
Gave you an extra check.
Okay, so you have a copy of it now. It was 13 editions. Oh,
Some of them don't pertain to. So the area variance. The sign, lot coverage. Front yard setbacks. I think that's it.
is there a list of them? on this?
Yeah, and there should be in the folder, there should be a list. I usually list. Make a list.
That's all I get.
Pictures.
There is.
Yeah, yeah, they're all right in this.
Requested area variances, there's two, actually. Cause I did not put the, in the sign's number 3, actually, there's 3, but the sign, the recommendation of the county was not 2.
The applicant, should we have a applicant?
Sorry.
I'm just wondering if the applicant is, are you familiar with these?
They went to the county, they were at the county meeting,
So you looked at all of these, and said that that's something that you can,
except for the sign.
set aside. On my side.
So. It'd be the same dimensions, correct?
Okay, but look,
Same sign, but
how much more?
5 feet.
5 feet, so 5 feet.
I don't know what the sign height is now, but I believe the code requirement is no taller than 8 foot.
8 feet, yeah. So,
It is.
so everything would be, you would exceed 8 feet, so on the side.
The speed limit, then with the distance. Which is the other number that you're.
What was that? Resolution 3. Roy, can you elaborate for us what your recommendation is? You were thinking that the sign is should remain as.
I don't think the sign should remain, I think they should remove the sign and either replace it with a ground sign. But your ground sign that meets the proper height and setbacks for GB2 district. Or replace take the sign down altogether and just put I don't know, what are those things called with the gas prices on it?
Price sign.
Those, the price signs up on the canopy.
Change.
No, this is,
Okay.
cause the canopy, so they're already working on the canopy. It would, I mean, I don't know how much it would cost to change that out, but they're already working on the canopy. They're already pulling the canopy apart to pull the fire suppression system out.
They're still able to keep some gas there. Well, that's one out.
But the fire suppression system is no longer required as long as it's placed upon.
When it's like a canopy with the logo name on it, is that considered a sign?
It's a wall sign, more or less, which are allowed.
Yeah. All right. I'm inclined to agree with everything that I said, and you know, in looking at what the county has said here, though, they haven't necessarily said anything other than we should just affirm what we believe is in our.
What about the option of instead of them losing their sign, a 2-year extension on the variance?
Is that,
We've done it with other things,
what's that?
so we've done it with other things.
would that extend through the time that you're doing the renovations?
The renovation is a 7-week project.
7 week project, so if we extended it to you for a year and a half or something like that,
Then it would be,
I still have this issue with how low it's going to be and how close to the proximity of the road is, and then people coming out of that
well, the new
drive.
sign would meet all code compliance
Yeah.
standards. If we can pump,
if it was down.
right, if we can pump and get the budget in a different year,
All right,
then
Yeah.
it can be fully compliant, setback and height requirements.
all right. I can go along with that, if everybody understands what that's not.
Yeah, like a full compliance sign.
Yeah. So that'd be.
Your thoughts?
I agree.
Yeah, I'm good with it as long as they comply. I mean, the only problem with doing this is, what am I gonna do? Pull their building permit? If they don't comply.
Well, they got seven, the extent of the building permit will have until.
Yes, I won't issue a final cert, so yeah, okay, I get it,
Yeah,
yeah.
we could do that. All right. We're gonna, they have somebody, give me a motion to close the public hearing. Motion has been made to close the public hearing. Look for a second. Second has been made.
You guys are doing screening in a dumpster, right?
All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye.
I think the ones maybe.
So that's part of
You
site.
need those questions, I got them here.
Just bring that up next site. plan.
Following test will be considered by the zoning board of appeals to determine the variance in way granting or denial of the area variance request. Number one, whether an undesirable change will be produced in the character of the neighborhood or a detriment to nearby properties will be created by the granting of the area variance.
So how do we answer this question? Do we answer the question based on what they propose? We answer it based on what's they're proposing?
Well, that's a good, that's another good question. I think it's by the, because we're predicating, extending the time frame on a 100% code. Line. So thinking about the ultimately out there, it's ultimately we're predicting that's going to be the case. So we're looking at what is the 2 years, what we're allowing a year and a half down the road. And that would be my take on it. So that's the, not desirable change.
Next site's up on the thing, how you got the canopy door first? You already have the canopy.
I think, it's not really undesirable change, it is.
You don't even read that.
GBs are what they are.
Well, what
I'm
was,
concerned about the train traffic.
One
That,
that's,
just because that sometimes can change, and we're not able to.
But having it somewhere-
Yeah, decided to join. Paying the ownership of this. But that's beside. So I think we're gonna go with, go on first, and then number two, whether the benefits sought by the applicant can be achieved by some method feasible for the applicant to pursue other than the area variance. I think, by extending the period of time, we're gonna allow time for that to be fully compliant. So I think, we're, say no. Whether the requested area variance is substantial, if they give a GB2, typical GB2 type stuff, it's not, doesn't look like anything that's that out of the ordinary. Whether the proposed variance will have an adverse effect or impact on the physical environmental conditions in the neighborhood or district. Not for GB, I don't think anything other than a certain traffic area.
yes,
Don't believe anything else is being created. And number five, whether the alleged difficulty was self-created, which consideration shall be relevant to the decision of the board, but shall not necessarily preclude the granting of the area variance. And I would guess it is self-created by the organization.
Actually, not to change the subject.
Yeah.
And in this case, it's really not self-created because they have to replace the gas tank.
Oh, that's part of it. of the other work, in addition to canopy
That's why they're going through all this.
Okay.
The replacement of the gas tanks and the upgrade of the canopy.
and the canopy.
So they have
that's-
to do all this to meet DEC, modern, whatever you wanna call
Okay,
it, so
all right, so, yeah, so part of what they're doing is,
that's all.
is
Continue.
complying with state law. That's what I consider state law, that guides the placement of underground tanks and fire suppression, state and county and city level. And so our situation was created by that. And so it wasn't self-created. So I guess.
They're required to replace the underground
Yeah,
tanks after they become obsolete, they become obsolete.
yes. Is the obsolescence a stated date, or is it just a period of time that they're in the ground?
The warranty on tanks is 30 years. So typically, the properties become uninsurable once the warranty is up.
All right, there you go. All right,
So it seems to be the major driver of it.
good. I'll entertain, I can make a motion or if you.
Should we clarify what kind of what we're making the motion on, because it started out as a bulk area variance. but
Yeah.
Is it no longer that, it's only just?
No, it's still a bulk area.
It's still bulk area.
What's the two?
But we're gonna-
Front yard setback and lot coverage,
And then,
which is not gonna change. Cause
Lot coverage, yes,
Yeah.
front yard setback, yes, and then side.
and then, but we're allowing, we're gonna insert in state in our approval, the specified timeframe for, compliance with ordinance code and zoning, and, as well as all the other things that are doing with the guidance. So,
Yep, clear.
Non-conformities or lot compliant or lot coverage and
Front yard setback,
front yard setback,
and ground setback.
minimum front yard setback. you could say.
I'll move to, conditionally approve, this, various request. And,
You're only approving the two.
approve the two. Okay.
The third one, you are putting a time frame. Also, keep in mind that the planning commission will also put your same time frame on.
Use your password on this laptop.
I'm gonna move then, we approve the two. Area variances, and then set a time, schedule of 1 year. 1 year for, in regards to the sign. That's clear for everybody, I don't know if that needs to be clear.
you're setting 1 year one.
1 year,
On three,
on number 3.
we have 1 year to get it done.
One year to do it compliant with item 3.
Item number 3, the sign, which is refers to signage. Because that's the. I think that would just assume that it's gonna be concurrent with what's going on, with all the other renovations. They're gonna need to specify that.
We still might fix it within a year, we're just
Yeah,
discussing putting those price signs up on a canopy since they're already doing work on a canopy.
okay. Yeah, all right.
So we'll see, hopefully we'll get it done within, but I'll make sure it gets done because we all know the
All right.
stance on pole signs, so.
All right. All right, I will, move that, we, grant the area variance on 2 issues and set a timeframe for, 1 year to, have the sign, compliance. And that, all is conditioned on compliance with, the existing work, on the tank removal and mediation and canopy, upgrades.
So what about the canopy? Is that something different from this, pole sign?
Yes,
Yes. That's what that's the work that they're doing.
Are we putting some
We don't,
addition on the canopy?
no, we don't have any.
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure I wasn't missing something in the decision.
No, I think that's, we're granting the variance on the first two. Conditionally granting, the approval for a sign. Condition, 1 year's timeframe. Together, activities. That's my motion. Your second?
I'll second.
Second's been made, all in favor, signify by stating aye. Aye.
Maybe second.
Jake. Next, agenda item number 2.
Just seconds. We'll prepare, I'll prepare this for you or something. We can send it to you, to sign.
well, he'll be back at planning,
Oh,
2 weeks,
yeah, next week we'll have something for you to sign,
next Monday's planning or 2 weeks?
1 week, March 3rd. That's 1 week from now, right?
Yeah.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you. Next agenda item is 79 Pomeroy Street, a zone map change. People to talk about this.
Yeah, so you guys already went over this as an interpretation. This is just the next legal step. Now you guys gotta eyeball it, officially approve it. And then it's gotta go to planning and then ultimately it has to go to the common council to vote for the law. The county said was all for it. They just said that the planning board follow with the seeker. Full on secret requirements, so they gotta do part 2 and 3, planning board, you guys just gotta. Eyeball again, give it your seal of approval, and then we'll move on.
Was this was an agenda item in November, September, okay, yeah.
Yeah, so at that time, you, the ZBA upheld or concurred with the zoning officer's opinion that the parcel could be rezoned entirely GB2. And so this is the owner coming back seeking that change.
Right. So this is just approval of what we indicated conditionally that we did look at earlier. All right. Does anybody need a refresher on this? Because we did look at it.
Nope.
It's pretty detailed. You had good maps and everything like that for us. So, without further ado, anybody care to take a stab at a motion? I would certainly. I'm going to move that the chair moves that the zone map change application for 79 Pomeroy Street as discussed previously at the ZBA. We have a parcel with portions of the property in different zoning districts. That we are moving that the interpretation parcel can be rezoned entirely into GB2. And that the owner can begin to seek such changes as needed. It's a long motion, but I look for a second. Second is made. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. There you go.
The second, this one.
What's about the easiest one you're gonna see?
What's that?
The easiest one you're gonna see, it's out there already done.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, see you guys. Sound good.
I can have you sign this here.
It was good that there's a lot of, you can go by there and you can actually see remnants of where the property lines were. If you
Oh, yeah,
take
absolutely.
a gander at it, oh yeah, it's that. So nobody's messed it up in that. regard.
No, thank goodness.
All right, agenda item, number 3. 43 Elliott Street, bulk area variance. I've been seeking a variance for an order to add an additional unit to a 3-unit dwelling.
Yeah, Mr. Armstrong's here for that too.
ZBA previously concurred with the zoning officer's interpretation of the variances in this instance are allowed under city code. Was that just in December?
Yep.
Yeah, that was a meeting we were, that I was not there.
Same here.
All set?
Yep.
Yeah, you guys weren't here. No, we were here, so.
No,
you guys.
I was not here.
I was shirking my responsibilities down.
We never talked about it, that night, we had a fight.
I gotta get to skiing or doing something.
So now to do this expansion, he's gotta go, has to go site plan before he has to go to site plan. It's just. The property has a couple of pre-existing non-conformities that as usual, we're gonna fix we're just gonna fix because we can.
Yeah.
Because most lots are not conforming.
Yeah.
So we're talking about, the 4-foot vegetative strip on the driveway side. And 10-foot buffers.
Yep.
I think that's it.
But we're, the final approval will be, will accept the fact that there's non-conformities. Final approval being sought by the, county. Is that right?
This didn't. So the county, it already went to. But already, wait, right here. I mean, just did a return.
Was.
Yep, so it's our decision. It's gonna go to planning too.
City plan.
Basically, this is just a formality like I do with everything. When I see a non-conforming lot, we make it right with an area variance.
Okay.
The only two here were the 4-foot vegetative strip on the driveway side, and there's. If you go around the exterior of the property, you need a 10-foot buffer between. That property and any 1 or 2 family dwelling, and there's like, I don't know, 2 or 3. That if you go down Owego. And then over to South Ave, there's like 2 or 3 that are 1 or 2 families. It doesn't have a 10-foot buffer between them. So.
All right.
And it might just be the garage, I think is the problem. Sketch. And I don't have my glasses, so you guys are gonna have to read my drawing, but I think you'll be okay with light.
Yeah.
Sketch.
All right. I think we can.
Then computer screens. So. So just the corner of the garage is the problem. Everywhere else is green space. And that's gonna, and that type of offer is gonna have to be maintained. The 47 Union, you need a 10-foot buffer, which you're not gonna have with the driveway sitting there and 4-foot. But it's a strip too, so that's even more restrictive.
Waiver of 4-foot strip, 10-foot buffer.
And I believe that's it. Cause what we're, and you're gonna do the same thing with the parking you did. So, thanks. You're gonna do the same thing with the parking. You're gonna give them a year and a half to get that paved.
Paving, yeah, all right. So paving and then
right.
stormwater.
Yeah.
You guys discussed this earlier, was there anything else you needed to bring up at all? When they were here last February, December?
I mean, I think it was just. Like we're all on the same page of
Yeah.
this, is this. Existing non-conformity, they're just expanding inside the building.
Yeah.
And then like our code and all around that, but like we still. We still.
Yeah,
Have to look at the project based on the other.
the non-conformity, the two aren't really germane to the function of the building as an apartment building. Cars going in and out, to me, it seems like, so it seems like they're a little more minor than you might think they are. As long as the additions are being done according to the way, we have to trust the fire department to make sure that those are all done, and so I don't know that I have issues with it. Area of there's a lot of those kinds of renovations that have occurred in buildings down there, and yeah, right there,
Yeah, I've become that one.
at least 40, they're all right in a row, yeah. I'm not sure.
No.
I guess I looked at last time. We're gonna give them a year again to get the driveway paved, or the parking area paved. All right,
And the driveway
and the driveway access and the lot. Okay.
and stripes and whatever it has to do to get brought up the code. The section 384 feet.
Okay.
Almost like I had my nose in the book every day.
We can try a motion on this, or we need to close the public hearing. I'm sorry about that. Yeah, go ahead.
Wait, hold on. You want, the question, you want to run through the questions?
Close the public hearing. Yeah, close the public hearing.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah. All right, now we'll move to close the public hearing.
You don't have anything else?
Oh,
right now?
right, so let's,
No.
yeah. Motion made, close the public hearing. Second is made, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Following tests will be considered by the zoning board of appeal to determine
I just blame
the
the
variance in waiving granting.
I don't see a problem. Sure, this is fine.
Number one, whether an undesirable change will be produced in the character of the neighborhood or a detriment to nearby properties will be created by granting of the area variance. I don't think in an area like that, it's really for that big of a deal, so no on that. Number two, whether the benefit sought by the applicant can be achieved by some method feasible for the applicant to pursue other than the area variance. No, it's our system for those smallest issues sometimes override others. Whether the area variance is substantial. No, I think we'll all agree on that. Whether the proposed variance will have an adverse effect or impact on the physical environmental conditions in the neighborhood or district. And no, I think it's pretty well the same as everything else in that area. And again, whether the alleged difficulty was self-created, which consideration shall be relevant to the decision of the board, but shall not necessarily preclude the granting of the area variance. I think, yes, it's self-created insofar as pre-existing condition before the decision to make to expand the living areas. So I would say yes on that. He said 4 no's and a yes. Any discussion amongst us here? They will be given a 1-year extension or a 1-year time frame in order to complete all the other existing.
So the bulk area variance is approved conditioned on.
Yeah, that's what we'll do now.
Here's somebody else wants to.
Next to that. Anybody else have any commentary on what's one way or the other? I think I'll go ahead and take another stab, go 3 for 3 tonight. I'm gonna move that we, grant bulk area variance, as described for 43 Union Street. In condition the granting, on, the establishment of a year agreement to do a year's, extension of time to complete the driveway and parking area, paving and, marking such as might be done. So with that motion. Second. I'll look for a second. I have a second. And anybody else, have anything else? And I'll call for,
Who made the second?
Jake. And, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right. So there.
Thank you.
There you keep you waiting there, Don.
Well.
Another- Yeah. Technical difficulties, all kinds of stuff today. And it was better just stay outside. I should just stay outside over there. Nice, beautiful day. All right, next up, agenda item number 4 is Mary variance request from Link Property Group regarding 43 to 49 Main Street. And seeks a variance for the purpose of installing a wall sign exceeding the maximum square footage. This is pretty similar, Roy, to the signs that Link has been putting up on their properties.
No,
This
this isn't Link's fault by any means.
Okay.
The actual sign for Asian Fusion
Oh, yeah.
was already too big and should have never been put up.
Okay, all right.
Trust me, you can sign there. and
I remember this.
see
a while ago,
that same
but
way.
Yeah.
And so unfortunately,
Well,
they can't put anything on their business.
I'm sure you've learned not to.
Yeah.
So Asian Fusion, Asian Fusion, so this is pre-me.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I don't know exactly when this
No,
occurred.
this is something that happened way back. when
So
I was
the
on-
way it works is you're allowed your total wall signs for the whole building on the street frontage.
Yeah.
That total square footage cannot exceed the linear square footage in the front of the building.
Yeah.
And Asian Fusion's already does without even putting theirs on it. So without pointing the finger at people, this is a error that was made by the city,
Yeah.
not by allowing Asian Fusion signs. So, I mean, it happens all over the place. It just, and truthfully, that law hasn't changed. It has to be for storefront.
Yeah.
Right now, the way it's written, it's total building.
Okay. Yeah, that's something that's, we can see that, we can see other buildings that are divided, like community restaurant, for example, that one obviously was a big building, and now it's got 4 different storefronts in front of it, and one of the changes to it is pretty commonplace. All right.
I mean, it's commonplace. It's not the first time you guys have had
Yeah.
an arrests like this. So.
All right. So they want to just install another link sign,
No, it's a wall sign.
wall sign, okay,
It says laundry lounge on it.
laundry, okay, yeah, gotcha, all right. All right, page 20. Oh, sorry, yeah, 'cause that's.
No, it is. Yeah.
It won't protrude. It won't protrude towards the street.
It's flat.
Flat on the building.
If you look at the front of the building, you can see where the old sign was.
Yeah.
That's just gonna be right where the old sign is.
Yep.
Okay.
All right,
They're gonna have window signs
Right.
too, vinyl window signs.
Yeah.
All that complies. It's just because Asian Fusion's sign is so big, it takes up the whole level square footage.
all of that area there, yeah.
So now they gotta come in for an area variance.
Okay.
It's interesting though, it's just letters, so it's not like it's a full
It's the size.
square sign.
Right.
I just went by what the measurements are they gave me, and it is a square sign.
Yeah, it's like, one, yeah,
No, it's actually on a background.
all right, just blends it. All right, anybody have anything else to bring? Then I'm gonna move to close the public hearing. Look for a second. A second from Kyle, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
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 All righty, with regard to questions. Following tests will be considered by the zoning board of appeals to determine whether the variance is waived, the granting or denial of the area variance request. Number one, whether undesirable change will be produced in the character of the neighborhood or a detriment to nearby property will be created by the granting of the area variance. I don't agree to that. I think all of us are in concurrence there. Whether the benefits sought by the applicant can be achieved by some method feasible for the applicant to pursue other than the area variance. No. Whether the requested area variance is substantial. No, especially compared to the other signage that's there, neighbor signage and others, street there. Whether the proposed variance will have an adverse effect or impact on the physical environmental conditions in the neighborhood district. Downtown district, I don't believe it. And whether the alleged difficulty was self-created, which consideration shall be relevant to the decision of the board, but shall not preclude the granting of the area variance. This is one of those where I don't know that you have to, you want to put a sign up for the occupant of that particular retail space, and so I don't know that it's self-created.
It's actually not self-created, it was created by
Asian Fusion was
an
not
error,
a prior error, so it's
not their fault.
so I think we have 5 no's on that, unless anybody else has any questions on that. All right, then I'll entertain a motion on this particular application. Buddy? Grant an area variance 4349 Main Street to the property group, according to their application for the purpose of installing a wall sign. Look for a second. A second. Second has been made. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. All right, motion carries.
The second is my problem here tonight.
Right.
Try not to be your problem.
So, this is that.
All righty, agenda item number 5 is 40 to 44 Rickard Street, pronouncing there, Corbin Park Apartments. The applicant seeks a variance for the purpose of installing screening with dumpsters placed in the front yard. And is the dumpster placement, is that allowed? Or is that?
So, yeah, no, it's not, that's why they're getting, but that's, I guess it's the only place, because all their parking lots are in their front yard.
Yeah, I've been noticing
Yeah.
that with just the totes. You know, the little, everybody, the students seem to have a hard time remembering to bring them back. And in many cases, they don't have a place to bring it back, but this is something entirely different. This is.
Yeah, I'm very familiar with this place because I grew up there.
Oh,
Plus, my dad ran it for 30 years.
so Cortana?
Okay.
Where's the dumpsters at? Where should they be?
Yeah, and the problem I would have, Roy, is that a lot of these dumpsters are parked in areas right near the openings of some people that live in the basement apartments. So putting up signs.
So part of this deal, the reason why they're going through all this process is because they gotta be screened.
The dumpsters do,
Yes.
okay.
So
Does this mean
is this like the code just finally calling them out, like, hey, put screens around that?
Yeah, so if you'll notice on this page right here, I've got them marked with. Thought I had it marked.
Is it before the photos of the place?
Yeah, they're marked in gray on this page, but the three dumpsters.
Matthew, Biddleson, it's right here. Yes, Biddleson further down. Right? Yeah, page 217.
217, all right, never mind. Thank you.
Where's the markings on the drop?
Okay, right here.
Yeah, I don't see any markings on here though.
Yeah, we have no markings on it.
I guess, I don't know, well, so right here, the picture, right, next page.
Your shingles.
You guys need this, go ahead, I don't know why that didn't come out.
When was this photo taken, or is this from Google?
Oh, you know what, they're on there, it just didn't come out, if you look real closely.
So the dumpsters are right here.
Now, there's a dumpster for FG and H. Where are they keeping that now? Is that in the tree line in the center?
If you guys, I mean, this picture here, if you look really close, and I can't see it here.
Yeah, I know enough because I used to go down.
Yeah, see right here, see where this area right here, that's where they used to keep the one dumpster.
In the center.
So let me just show you, it's on that picture, you can't see, I didn't color it in, I thought I colored it in. But I didn't. The color is the.
So,
So you
yeah,
got that one right next to the road.
yeah, and that's the one I really wanted to talk about, because I know they moved the one for the apartments just as you cross the bridge. That's in the backside, because they used to have that right near where the pump station is for this.
No, this is over here now, and then, so keep in mind that these are gonna, all these are now gonna be, have
Closure.
a 6-foot fence on 3 sides, one of those sides is gonna be to the public way, so you can't.
Yeah, and that's the part I was worried about, is because because right here, if you could look here, Roy, where I'm pointing. This is F building, I think this is, they used, right here, there's parking. So those people backing out of that parking area now will have their view impeded.
Because, I mean, this is where they've always been, quite.
I know, but now you got a sign.
Yeah.
This is where I'm talking about, right?
I mean, it's like.
Is there any-
For dumpster landings, but.
Is there any proposal for them to find a different location for the right here dumpster?
You know what I'm saying, yeah?
This is where I'm talking, right here. This is that building. This is where they count the dumpster. There's parking, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
The other two, I don't really,
Yeah.
personally, I don't see an issue.
Trees covering it.
That one right there.
Parking road. You've got a dumpster.
That's gonna block visibility for people.
With something surrounding it. Now, these people can't see what they're backing up. Not that Rickard Street's a driving metropolis.
thanks.
But,
Don't make it worse.
yeah,
Yeah, I mean, that's a great recovery.
So I think that you're best.
done this a while.
There's only 3 that I found, right?
Yeah.
I don't think that one there exists anymore. And if you look at that picture, you can't see it there. There. Here. Here. Those are the only 3.
Okay. I think picture was a 209, got the picture of the one on the road. There.
So there's only 3.
That's further off. Yeah.
I mean, it is right on the sidewalk.
It's not that close to the sidewalk.
I think they,
But it is, I mean.
It's not like they have a ton of options.
Access.
getting the functionality of them too, being able to dump them and put them back and, all that's gotta be considered, so.
Well, the code requires them to be screened on at least 3 sides. I realize we have other dumpsters in this city that aren't screened. I cannot possibly be everywhere at once. So when we get complaints, I
Yeah.
deal with it, try to bring it into conformity.
Yeah, so that's kind of how this one came.
This is the dumpster I was talking about right here.
Yeah, that's the
Yeah.
same one.
Yeah.
Same one.
So that one's further off.
He's saying that one's now not there.
No, that's.
No, that was
Still there.
That one's
Yeah,
not there.
so then look at the parking area right here. Right?
Yeah.
This parking area right here. You now screen that in. Now the visibility of these people backing out is gonna be. And he's right to setback. That's my only issue.
So setback, yeah, so, yeah, that's, don't approve it, I guess.
Beyond the,
I mean,
which is same thing Kyle was saying.
Yeah, see, there's those parking spaces. Yeah. Now, look. That's a great example, what I was trying to show you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I meant,
No,
just so you know where you're taking.
so screening. He's gonna screen three of them.
No, I'm just like that,
Oh.
but I'm just saying.
Two of them aren't really
I say.
An issue, it's just that there, it's closest to
To
the
screen
road.
that in. It's gonna keep these people back there.
And,
Yeah. I would approve it if they set that dumpster back, further back, get further back with the screened in area. I'd be all right with that.
I definitely think we could do some turning around and find some a better place for it.
Mhm. It's not rocket science. So,
swap the parking spot and,
yeah, in fact, anything, they may open up another parking spot.
yeah, after looking at that, one, that's the only one that I see that looks like it's a, that's the one closest to Riverside itself.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, the others are.
Yeah.
Yeah, because for C building in the back, it's in a location where, it's not going to.
Okay. So when you say front yard, Roy, are you talking about that one, right?
all three of them are in.
Or front yard,
Yeah,
categorized as front yard, okay.
Because the other two are on Front and North Street.
North Street. which
Yes.
is-
right over here. I'm getting that North Street for you so you can see it. It is a dead end, yeah. But you see where this building is?
Yeah.
It'll be right back there. So it's out of the way of people's visibility driving the road. So there's no issue with that.
So we could structure this as saying that, the two. They can grant the area variance for the two on North Street, but condition the granting of the area variance on the Ricard Street. Dumpster to having it moved back, all structures moved back 5 feet from where they are now. Is that something that we could?
I think you probably should have a total setback, right? What's the setback requirement?
Off the front yard?
Yeah.
Or, well, that's why you have that 4 feet, that's why you have a 4 foot fence and but dumpsters required to have a 6 foot fence around it. I'd say you just don't, I mean.
Yeah.
My recommendation would be do not approve that dumpster at all, have them move it.
Have the, all right.
I like your thinking.
So how do you enforce that? Like, are they doing anything that like made them have to apply for this or like, what's your?
Yeah, it's not screened, I mean, when there's
So it might
people
just, like,
illegally dumping on them all the time.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
They're full of trash and bed bugs, we get complaints about it all the time.
As far as like the time frame or something like, hey, we're not approving this, you have to move it, like what's like the force or what's the steps for next for that?
Stuff forward, I give them a violation, they'll tell me to move. They have 30 days after that to move.
It used to be.
Yeah, so we're all, it seemed like we're all in agreement on the two on North Street. But, we agree all that the,
I guess I don't understand why it has to be there at all.
yeah,
Well, and I agree, because if you look at this photo right here, this is the front, just as you cross. The bridge, it used to be where this white truck is. That's where it used to be. Why they put it way over there is, but that's not my business.
No, we'll condition it on. you know,
But-
Yeah, I mean, if it definitely got moved for like ease of like whatever.
Yeah.
You know, I don't think that was right.
Yeah, because that's what it used to be years ago.
So if we grant them the variance on, North Street screens and then require that they, propose a different area
Or remove it.
or remove.
Yes, yeah, I agree with Roy.
Okay, I agree, I think you got it, because I've seen it there before, I've seen it just piled with crap,
And that's the one that's the problem,
yeah,
because people just pull up and
yeah, there's
dump
no,
stuff and.
Right.
hardly any,
People drive
Yeah.
on the road,
Right
see it there, and they tell us, yeah.
they're looking for a place to throw their garbage out, they think,
Look at that, look at that dumpster.
when the drive that goes down to that shopping mall, there's trash thrown out there all the time.
Yeah.
And furniture and kinds of crap. And so.
So we propose they have two.
We'll allow the two, to be screened, we'll grant the variance of screening of the two. And then propose that the Rick Hard Street dumpster be, moved back to.
Yeah.
Other location.
Either be moved or be removed.
Be removed entirely.
Be removed, and I would say the Rickard
It's
Street.
gotta be a minimum of
Your
4 foot
building
off the
A and B.
sidewalk.
Okay.
4 foot off the sidewalk,
I
that's the
would say
minimum,
your
that's what the
building
code
A
is.
and B. I would say agree.
That gives you the side triangle when you're pulling out or backing out. So it's gotta be. Either remove it or bring it back 4 feet.
All right, I'm gonna, move to close the public hearing.
Make a motion.
Motion's been made, second.
Second.
Second's been made, all in favor, signify by stating aye.
Aye.
All right, the following tests will be considered by the zoning board of appeals to determine whether the variance may be granted or denial of the area variance request. All right. Whether an undesirable change will be produced in the character of the neighborhood or a detriment to nearby properties will be created by granting the area variance. In this case, I think we are in agreement that partially, yes, that the Rick Hard Street placement, is a area, it's just not right place to live. Whether the benefit sought by the applicant can be achieved by some method feasible for the applicant to pursue other than area variance. Whether the area variance is substantial. Having trash handling for a building that size is certainly something that's substantial, so I think I'm gonna go with yes on that one. Whether the proposed variance will have an adverse effect or impact on the physical environmental conditions in the neighborhood district. There again, I think yes, because I believe that that's placement. What I've seen from being familiar with it, is something that can be better situated to avoid many different things, not only just codes, but just the appearance of it from public rights away. So I'm giving a yes on that one, Andy, and whether the alleged difficulty was self-created, which consideration shall be relevant to the decision of the board, it shall not necessarily preclude the granting the area variance. And there again, I think yes. I mean,
So all yeses except number 2.
except number. Yes, number 2. But nonetheless, we're agreeing to do area variance grants on 2 of the 3, but condition that he relocate the Ricard Street dumpster, if that sounds correct for everybody. Entertain a motion for that.
Right here.
Motion has been made and again, it need to be restated, and I can do that.
Please, get a second in that.
Yes, restate the motion and look for a second here. The motion has been brought to Ray to approve the area variance for, sorry, read it right, bulk area variance request for the 2 dumpster locations that are closest to North Street. But condition those approval on
I'm sorry, for the 2
screens, dumpster
2 screened
dumpsters
dumpsters closest to
On
North-
North Street.
on North Street.
on North Street.
Yeah, they're.
Yeah.
And then, but condition on a removal and relocation of the Rickard Street dumpster. Not telling where to put it,
Following all
following all
regulations and setbacks.
all regulations and setbacks, and at which time we can do a screen.
So it's just like putting a 6-foot fence in the front yard. That 4 fence has to be back 4 feet off the sidewalk.
No, I agree.
Yeah, so I think you're right, it's gotta be
Yeah, because that's right there.
clearly telling them it's gotta go back.
You can smack the garbage can wall.
All right, so, a motion to approve the bulk area variance for all pre-existing non-conformities for the 2 screen dumpsters on North Street, conditioned on the removal and relocation of the Rickard Street dumpster to a location and in a manner that complies with all setbacks and other applicable codes.
That's exactly right.
Yep.
First,
Sound good to you?
first,
Sound good to you?
Me,
So with no further specificity as to.
if he moves it back, he's got the little, screen in. Just gonna move it out of the way. That's the motion, and, look for a second, from anybody.
I'll second.
Seconds been made by Kyle, all in favor, signify by saying aye. Motion carries. Good. Andy, did you have some other? issues?
Yeah, so,
We got minutes.
yeah, we've got, minutes, and if you,
So let's go ahead and do the minutes, right away. We've, Andy passed out a number of those. Ray and I probably have to exclude ourselves because we weren't here.
no,
No.
we don't, yeah.
We can base it upon what they have to
Yeah,
say.
they have to say.
So. James Van Gorder was recorded as voting, I recorded him as voting yes. On the. Item that he disclosed,
Yes.
a relationship with the applicant. And that, recording him as voting yes. Gives 3 votes. Which is necessary to prove that.
Good. Discussions there, so we've had that on a couple of occasions where a member has had to disclose a conflict, but it's not. It happens.
So. Potential conflicts arise frequently. That are brought to the common council, someone who's on a board or a commission or employed by the city or a relative of somebody. Employed by the city, submitting an application for something like the sidewalk repair program. And, commonly those are disclosed. And determined to not constitute a conflict of interest. And I would say that this is exactly like that type of. It's been disclosed but determined to not be a conflict.
so is it different than a court of law? Cause I just sat through a grand jury and we had this conversation, right?
Yeah.
That they would ask me if knowing the applicant would affect my decision.
Well, that's.
And I just said, no, it wouldn't, and they were like, okay, go ahead.
Right.
Yeah,
We did. If there's any financial
rules.
or anything else involved in it, that would make it change.
I think during that discussion, we did that during the open session.
Yeah, it's recorded in the minutes and I'm very comfortable with that.
Good. All right.
That happened to me when I was on the legislature, whenever we voted on the budget for a particular department, my wife worked for that department. Is she benefiting from that? No, she's not. Only the raises,
There'd be a lot of things.
which I voted
There'd be
again.
a lot of things that could be approved in a
Which
small
made me
town.
very upset.
It's kind of like,
With all the family relations.
Oh, I was against it.
and Jake could initiate. Yeah, so that's what you're always looking for the D or whatever to initiate it, and if not, then Andy's supposed to stand in and say, Jacob, don't you think you need something to say? So if he didn't have to do that, then I think that's,
I think that was you, actually.
oh, okay, good.
All right, good.
We don't have to.
So I want to make a motion to accept.
All you guys should go ahead and take it.
Yeah,
I'll make motion to approve the minutes. Motion is made to approve and.
I'll second.
Seconded, and all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Minutes are approved.
So the other item, I didn't have it on the agenda, I forgot, to elect the chair. Certainly welcome to do that now, or start of the next meeting.
Yeah, I'll leave that up to you guys. We do this every year. Can't remember if we've done it
Yes.
every year.
Yes, every year.
And then, and it changes around.
Now, this is the first meeting.
Yeah.
Before this meeting.
Yeah, right, we didn't have an agenda last week, so last month, the chair and vice chair, I'm here, I live, pretty close, I'm here. That much going on when I travel in town, and we're happy to remain in this. But I take a little moment here while we're in front of everybody and just say that I served under Steve, but he was, chairman of the board. Scott was on there, and, Brett was, chairman, and Brett is now president of the school board. It's a good, thing to have if you plan on doing something more in other parts of, city government, county governments, school district, anything. I think it's a good thing to, have that as I don't know, not necessarily a resume builder, but as it's something to add to your portfolio of skills that you want to have.
So I hear you suggesting that maybe.
What about for the mayor?
I'm saying, if one of you want, if anybody wants that, there's nothing that I certainly enjoy doing it, and I've had a fair amount of experience, I think, in parliamentary procedure in the past, but it's kind of a refresher for me. But if anybody does feel like, it's something that they would like to start doing and.
And if people would like, to make the motion, to discuss it, think about it,
Yeah.
and make a motion at the next meeting, we can do that, as well as now.
Certainly. Just know that I certainly enjoy doing it, but I know something, if somebody thinks like it's the way to shift it around or whatever, I'm certainly open to anything like that. So.
Why don't we put it on the agenda for next meeting?
Let's do that, see if we can get everybody here. Yeah, that'd be a good thing to have.
That's the only thing I was thinking, maybe we should.
Teddy
get
way
Teddy.
here, yeah, and Teddy's run for public office already, so, he's certainly.
Don't use that as a
No,
reason, because I was for public office and I don't want it.
You,
Okay,
you were.
I was a legislator, yes.
You were successful. That's your.
I was,
I ran for public office.
but I don't want to do that.
Anyways, let's, move to table a discussion, of board, assignments until, chairman and vice chair, assignments until the following meeting. We'll have that at the end of our regular, agenda.
We're at the start.
Or at the start. I'll leave it up to. Here, next up, entertainment.
Motion
Motion to
to,
adjourn.
I got that.
And the motion has been made and it's seconded by me.
Aye.
We're done.
Excellent work.
Okay.